Hello everybody, welcome to Yoga for Self-Love with Kim. I'm Kim. This will be a short, slow flow Vinyasa practice. You may want a couple of yoga blocks for the practice, so feel free to grab those and meet me on the mat. Bring yourself into a comfortable seat or whatever feels good for you to begin your practice. You can find child's pose or a little shavasana if you like. We won't be here too long, but find a place to get comfortable and settle in. Close your eyes and let yourself arrive. Begin to turn your focus inward. Let go of everything else for now. Just take this time to focus on yourself, body, mind, breath, and spirit. Take a moment to check in and assess. How do you feel? Notice any thoughts rolling through your mind or looping around that mental mind loop. Notice any emotions you may be dealing with, how they feel in your body. How does your body feel? Notice any areas of tightness or tension, or any areas of ease, openness, and flow. What does your energy feel like today? Smooth and steady? Or are you feeling a little anxious, amped up? Just notice where you're starting from. Let go of judgment. And just feel whatever's there. As always, I invite you to bring in the intention to be gentle, kind, patient, loving, compassionate with yourself through the practice today. And if you like, feel free to bring that intention out into the world with you. Begin to call yourself back now. Invite some movement into your body. And if you're not in a seated position, bring yourself into a comfortable seat, whatever that feels like. You can sit up on the heels here like I'm doing in Vajrasana with the knees bent, or you could sit in easy seat, Sukhasana, with the shins crossed, or whatever else feels okay for you today. For a moment, bring one hand to your heart, bring one hand to your belly. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Draw the breath all the way down into the belly. Feel the belly expanding out into that hand on your belly. And draw the breath up into the rib cage, into the chest. Feel the rib cage expanding all the way around, front to back, side to sides. And then with the exhale, you release the breath from the chest, the rib cage, from the belly. Back up and out through the nose. Excuse my dogs, please. Sorry about that. That's Sunny trying to make his voice heard. Okay, Sunny, we hear you. Few deep breaths here. Again, in through the nose, down into the belly. Feel the whole torso all the way around. Front to back, side to side. And release the breath back out through the nose. Few more nice, deep, smooth breaths here. And release your hands. And then from your seated position, let's bring the palms together at the heart. Root down through your sitting bones and your pubic bone. Find a nice long spine. Reach the crown of the head up. And then begin to spin the heart, the sternum, the gaze over towards the right. Little baby twist. Back through center. And then over to the left. Little baby twist. Back to center. Spin the heart over to the right again. Back to center. A little twist over to the left. Back to center. And then one more time to each side. And then bring yourself to center. Take hands down to the mat. Find your way into a table position, coming onto all fours. Spreading the fingers nice and wide. Root down through your finger pads. Claw the mat. Hug the arms in. And let's roll through a few rounds of our cat-cow. Inhale as you lift the tail. Drop the belly. Let the heart soften. And lift the gaze. As you exhale, press down into the hands, down into the feet, the shins, round up through your back, look towards the navel, and then inhale, you find your cow again. Continue this flow, your cat-cow, a few more breaths, beginning to loosen up the hips and the spine, finding this mobility. And then we'll bring it back into our table. Now, send the right leg back, hip level-ish. We'll bend the right knee, draw it underneath the body, round up through the back, and hug that knee in towards the nose or the forehead or the chest. Send the right leg back. Again, draw that right knee underneath the body, up towards the nose or the forehead. Send the right leg back. Draw that right knee underneath the body again, and then this time step or grab and carry that right foot up to the top of the mat. We'll take it into a low lunge, knee tracking over the ankle, press down into the feet, lift up, arms reach up. Then we'll take the left hand to the top of the mat inside that right foot, and then begin to peel the right arm up towards the ceiling as you spin your heart up. Bring that right arm back down, press into the feet, lift the arms back up, coming through low lunge. And then left hand comes down to the mat. Reach that right arm up towards the ceiling, little twist here. Right hand comes back down. One more time, reach the arms up, coming up through your low lunge. And then again, we take left hand to the mat. Reach the right arm up towards the ceiling as you spin the heart, the sternum, the gaze, up towards the ceiling or over towards the right and up. Stay here, or if it's available, bend that left knee, draw that foot in towards your bum, reach back with that right hand and pull that foot in. Spin the heart up towards the right. Release that left foot down to the mat, come back up through your low lunge, arms lift, and then hands down to the mat, step yourself back into your table, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. Send the left leg back, hip level-ish. Bend the left knee, draw it in, round up through the back. Extend the left leg back behind you. Again, you draw that left knee in towards the chest. And then send that left leg back. Bend the left knee, draw it in towards the chest, and then step or grab, carry that left foot up top of your mat. Knee over the ankle, press down into the feet, lift up. Zip up through the belly, sweep that low back in and up, heart lifts, arms reach up, reach out through the fingertips. Take that right hand to the mat, inside that left foot, begin to peel the left arm up towards the ceiling, heart spins up. Come back through center, press into the feet, reach the arms back up, coming back up through low lunge. And then again, right hand comes down to the mat, inside that front foot, you reach that left arm up. Back through your low lunge again, arms reach up. Right hand comes back down to the mat, lift that left arm up, spin the heart up, and then you stay right here, or again, bend that right knee now, draw that foot in towards your bum, and if it's available, you reach back for the foot, for the ankle, pull it in, and then release that foot. Come back through your low lunge. Hands down to the mat. We'll step it back into table. And now take it into downward dog. Tuck the toes under, press into the fingers, send the hips up and back, knees bent, big or little bend here. Pedal out the legs, walk it out, bend and straighten the knees. Any movement you like here. What feels intuitive? Feel into your body, listen to your body. It will speak to you. It will whisper or it will scream if you don't listen. And then we'll bend the knees, turn toes over to the left, heels to the right, pull your bum back towards the feet. And then bring it back through center into your downward dog. Other side, bend the knees, turn toes over to the right, heels to the left. Press into the hands, pull your bum back towards the feet. And then bring yourself back to center. Again, to the other side, bend the knees, toes to the left, heels to the right. Stay here with both hands planted on the mat, or press into the right hand, reach that left arm up and over the ear. Keep it here, or maybe you also lift that left knee up as you press down into that right hand. Lift up through that right armpit. And then release, hand and the foot come back down to the mat, come through center. Bend the knees over to the other side, toes to the right, heels to the left. Press into the hands, pull the hips back. Stay here or reach that right arm up over the ear. Stay here or reach that right knee up also. Really strong through that left hand, left arm. Lift up through the palm, up through that left armpit. And then the hand and the foot come back down. Come back through your downward dog. Bend the knees, crouch it down, and then begin to lift up through the belly and roll yourself forward into a plank. Shoulders come forward over the wrists. Press into the hands, lift the belly up and back into your downward dog. Again, bend the knees, crouch it down. Begin to roll through the spine, bring it forward, find your plank. Press into the hands, hips come up and back, downward dog. One more time, bend the knees, crouch it down, roll it forward, find your plank. And then back to your downward dog. Step, hop, or float yourself up, top of your mat. Ragdoll, forward fold. Lift the belly up off of the thighs, hinge from the hips, fold in. And have a big or little bend in the knees here, especially if the back of the legs, the hamstrings are tight. And then you can find some movement here if you like. Sway the hips side to side. Maybe grab a hold of the arms, the elbows, even swing the arms. You can rock the head. Bring yourself to center, hands to the hips, press into your feet, lift the heart, come all the way up to stand. Soften your knees, arms to the sides. Begin to sway yourself from side to side and let the arms just flow from side to side. Knees are soft. Again, big or little bend in the knees as you move through this. And then bring yourself to center. Bend the knees. We'll step the left foot behind the right and over towards the right side of the mat. Both knees bent. Take the right hand to the right hip. Reach the left arm up along the ear and then gently arch yourself over to the right. Maybe you begin to straighten that left leg. And then bring yourself to center. Bend the knees. Step the right foot behind the left and over towards the left side of the mat. Left hand to that left hip. Right arm up along the ear. Begin to gently arch over towards the left, and maybe again you can straighten that right knee. And then release, come back to center, palms together at your heart, reach arms up. Soften the knees, fold yourself in, forward fold. Let's bring it halfway up to our flat back, fingers press into the shins or the thighs. Lift up your belly, wavelength up and out through the spine. Soften the knees, fold in. Hands come down to the mat. Let's step it back to plank. Press into the hands. Lift up through the belly. Pressing out through the heels. Reach the collarbones forward. And then lower knees down to the mat. Lower it down. Pubic bone, belly, torso. All the way down to the mat. And then lift your heart, baby cobra. Elbows hug in. Press into the fingers, down into the feet, down into your pubic bone. And then release yourself down, tuck your toes. Press yourself up and back, downward dog. Step or hop up, top of your mat. Take it back into our forward fold. And then halfway lift. Fold yourself in, press into the feet, come all the way up. Palms come together overhead. You bring the hands back down to the heart. Reach up. Fold in. halfway lift, flat back. Drop your hands down to the mat, step it back to plank. Again, drop the knees down. Lower yourself down, pubic bone, belly, torso, all the way down. Lift your heart, baby cobra. If you like, take it into your full cobra. Press into the hands, lift the heart a little bit higher. And then release it back down, tuck the toes. Send the hips up, back, downward dog. Let's take it forward again. Hop, step, float up. Find your forward fold. Halfway lift to that flat back. And then fold it in. Press into the earth. Rise up. Palms together overhead. Hands to your heart. Reach the arms up again. Fold it in. Halfway lift. Plant your hands to the mat. Step back to plank. Now either drop the knees to the mat, come down onto your belly and move into your cobra, or if you like, chaturanga, low push-up, and then upward dog. Let's roll it forward on the toes for your chaturanga. Bend your elbows, lower yourself about halfway down, shoulders above the level of the elbows, so you're not dumping into the shoulder girdle. And then come onto the tops of the feet, thighs lifted, pull the heart forward, upward dog. We'll meet back in our downward dog. Bend your knees, crouch it down here, and now send the right leg up for a three-legged dog. Bend that right knee, bring it forward in towards the chest, and step your right foot through. Drop that left heel to the mat. We'll take it up into warrior one. Bend the right knee, pull that right hip back, begin to lift yourself up. Rooting down into the feet. Reach the arms up. From your warrior one, you're going to roll up onto the ball of that back foot, bend that back knee, coming into a high lunge, back knee bent, and you can leave that back knee bent or begin to straighten that back leg. So reach the right arm forward, or left arm forward, right hand comes to meet it, and then bend that right elbow, pull that right arm back, unfurl that right arm towards the right side, spin your heart over to the right. Stay here, or right hand comes down to that left thigh, hug in through the legs. We're gonna lift that left arm up. Heart reaches up. Come back up into your low lunge, and hands come back down to the mat. Step yourself back into your plank and find your flow. Whatever variation feels right for you today. Or you can skip the vinyasa and just meet back in downward dog. Your practice, your choice. Other side, crouch it down, left leg up. Bend that left knee, take it forward, core plank. Step that left foot through to that left thumb. Drop that right heel to the mat. Let's lift it up, warrior one. Bend the left knee. Root down into that back foot. We take it into our high lunge. Bend that right knee, roll up onto the ball of that right foot. Hug in through the legs. Arms reach up, maybe straighten the back leg. Let's take the right arm forward, left palm comes to meet it, and then bend that left elbow, open the arm up. Stay here or take that left hand to the back of the right thigh and reach that right arm up. And then bring yourself back to center. Hands down to the mat. Step yourself back into your plank. Move through your vinyasa. Step or hop yourself up top of your mat. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Fold it back in and press into your feet as you come all the way back up. Palms back to the heart. Now grab your 2 blocks. We will add on a warrior 3 and a revolved half moon. Palms to the heart. reach up. Fold yourself in. Halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. Plant your hands and step yourself back into plank. You find your flow. Meeting back in our downward dog. Bend your knees, crouch down, send left leg up, three-legged dog. Bend that left knee, shift it forward, core plank, and left foot steps through. Let's drop that right heel to the mat. Hug the left hip back as you lift up. Warrior one, arms reach up. Now we take it into a warrior three here. Hands can come forward to the blocks. If you prefer to move into warrior three without blocks, your choice, totally up to you. If you're using blocks, begin to take the hands forward, shift the weight forward into that left foot, left leg. Hands come to the top of the blocks. But have a bend in the standing leg if you like. Press into that left foot. Lift up through the belly, reach out through that right foot, out through the crown of the head. Nice long spine. Keep hands where they are on blocks, or maybe you bring hands together at the heart, arms out to the sides, airplane wings, arms reach forward. Woo, timber, or even hands come to rest on the low back. And then we'll step the right foot back to the mat, bend the left knee, reach the arms up. Hands come to the mat, step it back to plank. Move through your vinyasa. Crouch yourself down and send the right leg up for three-legged dog. Bend that right knee, take it forward, core plank. Right foot steps through. Drop that left foot to the mat. Bring it up into warrior one. And then we'll take it into our warrior three. Blocks or no blocks. Weight moves forward into that right foot. Hands to your blocks if you like. Press into that right foot. Lift up through the belly. Reach out through the left foot, out through the crown of the head. Hands stay on your blocks. Where you find your version here. And then slowly step that left foot back to the mat. Bend the right knee, come back up. Warrior one. And then hands come back to the mat. Step yourself back into your plank. Move through your flow. Step or hop it up top of your mat. Fold it in. Forward fold. And then halfway up, flat back. Fold in. Press into the earth. Rise up. Palms together. Back to the heart. Here we go again. Arms reach up. Fold in. Halfway lift. Plant hands to the mat. Step it back to your plank. Find your vinyasa. Crouch down. Send the left leg up. Bend the left knee, take it forward, and step that left foot through. Drop the right heel to the mat. Press into the left foot, lift yourself up. Bend that left knee, warrior one. And now we will use our blocks even if you didn't use them before. Let's use our blocks for warrior three this time, and then we'll transition to a revolved half moon pose from there. So weight will come forward into that left foot. Hands will travel forward to your blocks. Send that right leg up and back behind you. And then you can find your warrior three. Release the arms if you like for a moment. And then take hands back to the blocks. We'll take the block that the right hand is on. Move it over towards that left foot or inside of it or in front of it. And then left hand to that left hip. Reach that left elbow up towards the ceiling and begin to gently shift your gaze over towards the left. Maybe up. And then you can keep that left hand on the hip. Maybe you begin to open that arm up towards the ceiling. And then we'll bring that left hand back to the block. Right hand on right block moves back to where it came from. Then you slowly step that right foot back to the mat. Bend that left knee. Reach it back up. Hands to the mat. Step it back into your plank. And move through your flow. Meeting back in our downward dog. Other side. Let's even things out. Bend the knees. Crouch down. Right leg up. Bend that right knee shifted forward. Step that right foot through. Drop that left foot to the mat. Hug that right hip back. Press into your feet. Zip up through the legs. Lift up through the belly. Arms reach up. Warrior one. Hands come forward to your blocks. So you shift yourself forward. Weight into that right foot. Press down into that right leg. Lift up through the belly. Send that left leg back. Nice long spine. You can remove hands from the blocks if you would like, just for a moment. Find your warrior three. And then hands back to the blocks. Let's take the block that the left hand is on, move it over towards that right foot a little bit. Right hand comes to that right hip. Begin to gently shift your gaze to the right. Begin to spin your heart, your rib cage, your sternum to the right. Maybe you keep the right hand on the hip or begin to open it up towards the ceiling. And then right hand comes back down to the block. Left hand, left block moves back over. Slowly step yourself back. Bend that right knee and bring it back through. Warrior one. Move the blocks out of your way. Plant the hands. This time step yourself back into downward dog. Rock your hips from side to side. Pedal out the legs. Find whatever movement you like here. Or maybe you hold steady for a few deep, smooth breaths. Release your knees down to the mat. Come back to sit on your heels or into any comfortable seat. For a moment, close your eyes. Bring one hand back to the heart, one hand back to rest on your belly. Check back in with your breath. Notice how you feel now. Come back to our intention to be gentle, kind, patient, loving, compassionate with ourselves. Turn the corners of your lips up into a little smile or a big smile. Bring your palms together at your heart. May you feel safe. May you be healthy. May you be happy. May you live with ease. May your heart be open to love, compassion, and may you know joy. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today with love and gratitude. Namaste.